Welcome everyone to another coffee edit with myself, James Kelly. The coffee is strong today, and it's in fact actually my third one so far. It's been one of those days. So today we are going to look over another one of my images. I had hoped to have given you a brand spanking new image that I captured a couple of days ago. I went on this trip to a place called Loch in the Gar to get some photographs of the loch as the sun rose. Unfortunately, a lot of low cloud. There was a 50-50% chance of being low cloud or being blue skies, according to the mountain weather report, and unfortunately I got snow and the low cloud, so that was a shame. But it was a pretty cool experience. It was a 2.5 hour walk. I got the I think I saw footprints from wildcats, which is the only thing I could think that it is. It was amazing. And I got to walk along a path where no one had walked for what looked like probably days, if not weeks. So that was a pretty cool experience. But unfortunately, no photographs. But I do aim to go back there hopefully next week to try and get some more. So on that note, we're actually going to dip into the archives. We're going back to October 2020 when I took a trip to Harrison Lewis on the west coast of Scotland. And then on the way back, I stopped off just north of the village of Ullapool to photograph the sunset. And it was an incredible sunset. There's a whole video on my YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description so you can see that. So we're going to go and look at this image here. Going to compare the two so you can see the before and after. Here we go. Right hand side is the edited one, and then on the left hand side is the unedited image. So this is one of my favorite ones from the whole trip. There was quite a few, but this is the one that I really wanted to stand out and show you the edit. And we're going to maybe change it up a little bit from what I finished with, really. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is lens correction. So I have on the left hand side my pre-made presets, which will be available very soon. A few more minor tweaks and they'll be going online. So first thing I'm going to do is obviously lens correction. Get that added on there. Fantastic. And we're just kind of going to go through all the settings and everything that is here to do this. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is, once I've done the kind of lens correction, is center that horizon, although it actually looks pretty good. Normally I'm a very squint photographer, so I'm quite happy that this is actually looking not too bad in terms of having to change it. So I'm going to increase that temperature, just the exposure, sorry, just a little bit, and then increase the temperature again, not too much, but just to bring in that orange color that was coming in from the sky. Contrast, because the sun is setting and everything that was going on in the sky, it doesn't really need a lot of contrast. I think just maybe +10, something very simple. So we have on the left hand side the pre-made presets, and so running through these gives me an idea of how much or how little contrast that I need. Yeah, so I can see that +10 is more than enough. Okay, now as you can see, it's kind of red lighting there on the sun being the brightest part from the whole exposure. I'm going to bring that highlights down just a little bit, just until that red light has gone. You'll see the bottom right here where it's blue as well. That's just where the black, so it's really black. So we are going to use the shadows to kind of lift the shadows basically from the image. I'm going to bring that shadow right up so we can get a little bit of detail in those lower rocks on the right hand side, and also underneath you can start to see the stone there as well. And then just lower, there we go, the highlights as well. Okay, so whites again, we're just going to play with those whites just a little bit. Just again, go too high and that sun's going to start redlining. But also got to keep an eye on that sky as well. I want that sky to kind of pop with that colour, so we don't want to have it too much. There we go. Blacks. Add that little bit of black. We can see now if we go too low how that all starts to change, so we are going to keep it a little bit. So what I'm doing really right now is concentrating all along that kind of you know, that quarter below here, third, sorry, not a quarter, a third of the landscape, basically the ground where that rock is. I'm going to work with that sky later on. There we go, a little bit of texture. Clarity. Now, whether you want to add a lot of clarity is up to you. I like a little bit of clarity, not too much, but I think it just adds a little bit of depth into that cloud and then also into the water just below as well. Vibrance, increase that vibrance just a little bit, not too much. We don't want it to look too saturated, too strong. It's the same with the saturation, just bringing that saturation down just a little bit. We don't want it to look too fake. So just getting that really nice balance between the two. Coffee's good today. So that's what we've got so far. It is looking not too bad. Quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with that orange in the horizon on the sky there and how that's looking. I'm just going to bring that whites down again. Highlights I can't really do much. Same with the shadows. But again, just going through and just retweaking those images, the settings again. Color profile, landscape. Just to make those colors pop just a little bit. Again, it's getting that balance between looking too fake. You know, you don't want it to look too saturated and too orange, like it's been added too much. But I really remember very well when shooting this just how bright that sunset was. There we go, fantastic. Okay, so gonna now look into the sky. I'm gonna introduce a gradient filter. Now I was using filters, I was using Nisi Filters when I was shooting this, and I do remember there being a gradient filter on. So I'm just gonna tweak that sky that little bit more to bring it through. So again, add that contrast into that sky. Lift the shadows a little bit more clarity, a little bit of texture. There we go. So, you know, this is affecting, if you look at it here, you know, majority is going to be the sky that's going to be affected, with it slightly blending into the water and the rocks. That's looking really nice. There we go. Now, one thing you'll notice, and again, I'll more do this in Photoshop, but the sensor is pretty filthy. So I'm going to remove a lot of the spots that are kind of showing up from that dirty sensor. I just spent 2.5–3 days in Lewis, and the weather conditions were not the best, so it's very likely I got a lot of dirt on the sensor from then. So just going through, trying to find those spots, and just using my eye as well. There we go. I mean, that's just so simple, such a simple, quick edit, you know, and just again working with that saturation, just bring that down. I could come down into the settings further down here and just kind of tweak the luminance. Where are you looking on the orange? You know, whether you want to darken or lighten it, that is entirely up to you. But again, I like to keep that pop of colour that's coming from it, but at the same time, like I said multiple times now, I don't want it to look fake. Now, one thing I'll mention is at the moment my monitor is color corrected for my printer, and I do want to print a picture from this later on. Fortunately, I just run out a couple of ink cartridges, so I'm waiting for them to arrive. But the plan is to do a nice little print of this. So when we do the Monday edit, or the coffee edit, I will show you a video of the final picture being printed and it's out printed as well. There we go. I am really, really happy with that. Let's see the before and after. I mean, what a difference. The raw on the left-hand side is just, there's just nothing to it. You can see the orange, you can see the blue coming in the picture, but, you know, lifting that has just come out really, really nice. So there we go. That is my coffee edit for today, and I've still got half a cup left. What we'll do then is just give you a quick glimpse from the gallery from that day. Here we go. This is all the final photographs from that one sunset, and I remember it just being absolutely brilliant. You know, this one here was actually the morning of when I was on the Isle of Lewis, and then coming through I just remember coming up this hill, seeing all this light. So this was just as the sun, before it hit the horizon, about an hour before it really hit the horizon, was coming through and giving me all these beautiful sun rays as well. And then to my right behind me was a village, and we have the whole Asant Glencasp area all up here, and that light was just hitting it. It was stunning. You could hear people talking and running on the beach. It was so still as well. Fortunately, the midges were a nightmare. That was one downside. And then as the sun set, it started to get those purple tones really started to come in. So I'll show you a quick before and after of this one. There we go. So again, when I'm photographing, I'm really exposing for that sky. I want to try and keep as much detail in that sky as possible, and then just lifting that light and lifting up the shadows as well to introduce the detail into those rocks below. So there we go. That is my coffee edit for today. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.